It is over.
What's up, everybody? It's Thursday, and you know what that means. That means that it's the night of the Insiders podcast. So welcome to the show, everybody. Really, really appreciate y'all being here tonight. It's great to see you all out there already in the chat. The chat's with me, Jeff. Jeff, you know what? I was thinking about this earlier, and I thought to myself, what a fantastic week this has been for wrestling fans.
Oh, man. It's been so good.
What an amazing week.
So good. So good, man. And, you know, we got a lot of surprises, a lot of cool things that happened that I know we're going to talk about. But, yeah, I mean, if you're a wrestling fan, I mean, you won this week.
Oh,
I mean, we all won this week.
Oh, absolutely. You know, the thing is, and we talk about this in previous shows and stuff like that. There's always the negativity out there, but if you couldn't find something positive in all the wrestling this week, then you are just not a wrestling fan. That's it's plain and simple. You just like to hate on stuff because I'll tell you what. From the Rumble to Monday Night Raw to Tuesday Night Impact to last night with AEW and NXT, fantastic. It has been such a fantastic, and we still have SmackDown yet. So this has been really, honestly, I think I really, since we've been doing our show for sure, But even before that, this has been one of the best weeks, I think, of wrestling that I have seen in a long time. And how cool is that? I mean, how cool is that?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely has. And I mean, again, if after this week thus far, you're still negative about wrestling, then we're not doing the airing of grievances, but you're the problem with the internet wrestling community if you're negative this week about wrestling. So
yeah, man.
Just saying.
Totally agree. And we're going to get into a lot of it. So let me welcome some people in before we start our show. Again, thank you guys for being out and joining us tonight. Really, really appreciate that. TX-based Raslin fan is here. Joshua Mickelson is here. Hello to you. The High Flyer. Welcome. Hello to you. I went all the way back in chat, so bear with me. Little T, hello to you. Sapphire's here. Johnny Bates is here. Nathan, hello to you. Other Mother is here. Hello. DJB Tazzy. It's an insider's party, baby. It is. Let's see. James Chadwick is here. Welcome to you, James. How are you tonight? Hope you are well. Scrolling. Joshua Mickelson, I think I said hello to you. Let's go down a little further in the chat. DJ Kryptonock is here. Hello to you. We have Bass Ty says hi, guys. Hello to you. We have who else? We have Johnny Bates spam in the chat. We have who else? Oh my goodness. Janelle. Hello to you, Janelle. Nice to see you. We have Hayden Garrett. What's going on, Hayden? How are you tonight? Welcome to you. Sean. Hello, Sean. Sean, of course, was on Abby's on Monday. I know he had a great time. He was talking about the show. I listened to some of it. Awesome. Nathan is here. Hello to you, Nathan. Big Dan is here. What's going on, Big Dan? See Wrestling's in the chat. Hello, C. Who else? Sean Rousset is here. So we have two Seans in the chat so far. We've got a lot of Seans out there. Brother Nero is here. Hello to you. Let me see. Hope I didn't miss any. Sunny Wolf is here. Hello, Sunny Wolf. Sunny Wolf of the Vampire Lady fame. She puts out a tweet. It was so funny. She puts out a tweet, and I saw it at work, and she's like, check out the Vampire Lady. And then the above two tweets were deleted by the author. So I go, yeah, check out the deleted tweets that you put up above that. But I had seen it. It's pretty cool. She's creepy as hell. She's got a glove longer than Freddy Krueger's, which is really awesome. She looks cool. That's from Resident Evil, by the way. Lori is here. Hey. What's up, Lori? Let's see if I'm missing anybody. Eric Travis is here. Goodness gracious, lots of people in the chat tonight. Yeah. That's awesome. Jen Carter, hello, Jen Carter. Hello to you. Welcome. And I think I got them all. All right. Yes. So welcome in. And like I said, this is going to be, it's going to be a fun show because like I said, there are just a lot of things that happen, really cool things. It almost seems like things happened on every single program this week, which is very unusual and very, very cool at the same time. So again, we'll go over a lot of this stuff one by one. We will do that. Just before we do schedule-wise, so the rest of this week, we are clear. We've got nothing after tonight. We've got a big week coming up next week, and that's why. So we're going to get a little break because next week's going to be big week. We've got Abby's on Monday, of course, Impact on Tuesday, which is a go-home show for the pay-per-view on Saturday. Our podcast on Thursday. We've got Saturday with Impact, and then Sunday with Tazzy NXT. So a big week next week, lots of stuff going on. So make sure that you hit that subscribe button, hit the notifications button as well, so you know when we will be on. All right, Jeff, what have we got to talk about first with this very big plethora of stuff that we've got going on?
Man, well, first let's just get news, right? I mean,
let's get to the news.
We got news that we got to get to, so
yes, sir.
We're gonna get to the news. And the first thing that we're going to get to, Joe,
I'm wondering what this is going to be.
is
yes,
KENTA makes an appearance on AEW Dynamite last night.
Yeah, so this was, and again, when stuff happens on Wednesday nights, I'm never around. The last time when Sting appeared, I was doing my other show, and all of a sudden my phone blows up at like almost 10 o'clock, and I'm like, son of a. And then same thing last night. Everybody's like, what? And I'm like, what is going on? And I had to go and look, and then I watched it afterwards. But yeah, see, here's the thing. And I'm going to pass this one over to Jeff because I think somebody may have mentioned this a few episodes back, but yeah, we'll let Jeff get some credit. And I keep telling you, man, give me some damn lottery numbers, would you? Like seriously, like would you start playing the lottery or something, dude? Because like, I mean, look, this is what Jeff had mentioned. Like, this is where now we know that KENTA's there because of Moxley. And yes, he's the one who wants that title, of course, that Moxley has. So he's there for that reason. But then you had Don Callis in the background laughing hysterically, like a maniacal laughter when KENTA showed up. And then, Shivani's like, that's KENTA. And he said, yes, it is. And he starts laughing. So what is going on here? Are we getting what Jeff talked about? Is this going to be a pay-per-view somewhere down the line? We don't know when. We don't know where. We don't know whose it's going to be. Is this going to be a pay-per-view where we're going to see people from Impact, people from the AEW, and people from New Japan Pro Wrestling? And what are the details? Where is it going to be? I mean, this is really, really cool stuff. And, seeing KENTA in the ring, on AEW was just an amazing way to end it. Then of course you saw the little interview with you saw an interview with Kenny Omega, and of course KENTA kind of told off Kenny Omega and walked away from him and said, I'm only here for one thing. And then Kenny was like, well, I'll smooth it over. And next week we're gonna have a tag team match, so it's Kenny and KENTA against Moxley and Lance Archer. Lance Archer, who interfered in that match last night. So big stuff. And I'll tell you, I went back and I watched the AEW show. It was a good show. They had some good stuff. It really was. It was a good show. It was a fun show to watch. The wedding was ridiculous. But honest to God, dude, and we'll get back to the topic at hand. But Jeff, did you happen to see when when Miro came out and started, what is love? And then everybody's going, baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. I was like, this is fantastic. And he literally had to stop and chuckle because everybody just did it out of the, and then he's like, oh yeah, I like that song. And then comes back and he starts, then he gets them going. He's like, okay, what is love? And then they did it again. I thought that was fantastic. Yeah. It's something we miss. Because we don't get the fan interaction, and that's the kind of thing that makes it really cool, and it was just so funny. But let's get back to KENTA, Jeff. And yes, Jeff, bask in your glory because you said it. You said it.
I'm not one to gloat very much, so I won't bask too much. But yeah, I mean, I kind of felt like this was the thing that was going to happen. I felt like it was destined to happen because of the changes that New Japan was making and Rocky Romero being there, and and just seeing the writing on the wall with Impact and AEW working together. And I felt like behind the scenes, they were trying to do the same thing with AEW. It just makes sense. And this is the first logical step in that relationship. Let's see how this works. I don't, we have another topic later on where we're going to talk about what we think this means going forward. Mm-hmm. But I mean, this is, for me, this is all signs leading to that big encounter between the three companies. I don't know how many people know this, but it was also reported today that New Japan has a deal with Roku. Where their content will be streaming on Roku. And pretty soon, starting next week, as a matter of fact, we will have wrestling every single day of the week.
Wow.
So, I mean, and that's just a step. That's a step in this relationship where all three companies, I feel, will work together. And, I said this months ago, like, I felt like that was the step that they were taking. Obviously it happened, and here we are. And it just, again, it benefits the fans ultimately.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. This is, again, when we first started talking about this whole thing with Kenny Omega, we were talking about fantasy booking, and really, that's really what it is. Yes, I know that, obviously it's not including everyone. WWE is not included, but I mean, you're including three companies with three, amazing rosters of superstars, and just where this can go is amazing. Now, do we know this is happening? Like Jeff said, no, but the thoughts of it and the promise of all of this is really something, like Jeff said, to get excited about if you're just a fan of professional wrestling, because to see these guys in the ring with each other, you're going to get something next week now on AEW. I mean, is really cool. Now, where it goes, who knows? But again, this goes all the way back to, you could talk about when the Good Brothers had their deal to come to Impact. They had said that one of the things that was written in their agreement was the whole working with New Japan. So you knew that was involved, and maybe that was just a little sneak peek about it even back then when they talked about that. So this is just exciting stuff. It really is. I mean, for any wrestling fan, and like I said at the top of the show, it's just exciting stuff to see. And just for fans of wrestling, I think it's fantastic. And let's just see where this takes us. But this is just really cool when you start to see people. And now people are starting to watch AEW because you just don't know. You just don't know what kind of surprises and stuff you're going to get. And, and look, when it was only WWE for the longest time, and that's all there was, you really didn't have much of a choice. You really didn't have anything else to watch on certain nights. So it's just fun. It really just is. And I think seeing that last night was really, really cool. And again, Jeff and I have been critical of AEW. A lot of their shows just aren't good. And that's just the plain truth. A lot of them just aren't that good. And people will say what they want to and whatever. But a lot of them just aren't all that great. But last night's show was good. It entertained me. It made me laugh. The Miro thing was hilarious. Weddings are going to be a mess and a nightmare, and it was. But, I laughed. I thought it was some good wrestling, some good stuff. Was there some cringy stuff? Yeah, with the inner circle whole thing. Yeah, it's like they're kind of dragging that out a little bit. But look, you can overlook all that stuff, and then when you see something like this, you get excited about it. And I thought it was really cool. So let's see where it goes.
And next week, we'll have a new segment where I give lottery numbers.
Yes, Jeff's going to do lottery numbers. Yes. Sonny was asking for a clip. What were you asking for a clip from? The What Is Love thing?
Yeah, the Miro.
The
clip.
wedding.
It's on their. I think it's on their YouTube. If you go to WWE's YouTube,
I'm sure it would have to be.
If it's not on their Twitter.
Isn't it funny, though, how Miro goes from one lousy wedding and just goes right into another lousy wedding segment? Wow.
He basically wore the same outfit.
He did.
Which I thought was interesting, and so it is what it is. But next week we'll introduce lottery numbers.
Yes, sir, man. All right, so let's see what we got next. What is next? Oh, of course.
Hey,
the Royal Rumble winner was on NXT. Edge. Now, this was announced on social media. They didn't announce it anywhere else, which was a little odd because you kind of would think they might. But here's what I got from this. And Jeff, you can you let me know what you got out of this. And of course, everybody in the chat as well. Tazzy, obviously, shout out too. What I loved about this was Edge put over so many people in NXT. Like, what was it? 4 people he put over last night on the show. And I think that's fantastic. Now, is Edge going to wrestle Finn Balor? Probably not. But is the thought of it there? Yes. Would I love to see that match? Absolutely. Is it going to happen? Probably not. But the thought of it is there now. Everybody has that planted in their head that it could happen. And then on top of it, he confronts Karrion Kross. He confronts Pete. Pete Dunne and him had a little thing. So, I thought it was fantastic. What they had him do. Edge is going down there, and he is, what so many people complain about with the WWE, me included, is that they go back to the legends. The legends come in. They take the spotlight off the young guys. But you know what? He's not doing that. What he's doing is he's putting the young guys over. Mm-hmm. And that is what I got out of that. And you know what? Kudos to him for doing that. And I love the fact that he was on NXT. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, same thing. I mean, it's all about, at this point, putting newer talent over. And honestly, you can't call Finn young. I mean, Finn's not a young guy. But, he's putting newer talent over, which is desperately needed in WWE. And, that's been one of the criticisms of WWE. And I know, on here, we've criticized them for, back to the formulaic way they book matches and all of that stuff. So, yeah, I mean, to see him on NXT putting Finn over, putting Pete Dunne over, Karrion Kross. Not only that, and then he had a segment with Bronson Reed.
Yeah, Bronson Reed too. Yeah.
And not only that, but go back to Monday where he gave the handshake to Damian Priest. Yep. And when I saw that moment, that immediately took me back to Undertaker shaking the hand of John Cena way back in the day on SmackDown when John Cena made his debut. So, that's where, for me, I really love this. It's great this week because we've seen legends putting over other guys. I mean, we saw it with Goldberg. I mean, we did. You got to give credit to the guy. He put Drew over in a major way. Yeah. The way he sold for Drew in that match, I've never seen Goldberg sell for anyone like that. Yep. Period. Yep, absolutely. So, absolutely, man. That's what they need, though. That's what they need to do. They need to put over this talent. So yeah, and I think Edge is gonna be on SmackDown tomorrow night as well.
Well, of course. And why wouldn't he be? Because, again, he's going to get that thought in everybody's head of who am I going to challenge? Now, again, the rumors are out there. Everybody has their little opinion on who he's going to go after. But the thing is, the mystery's there. And they should probably keep that going for a while. Don't have him announce it right away. Keep it going for a little while, or even have him come into the ring and just attack the person he's going to go after. Do something like that, because that's something old Edge would have done. The Rated R Superstar Edge would have come out and done something like that. So, yeah, I mean, keep it going for a little bit. Play off of it. Maybe don't even have him do it until maybe after Elimination Chamber. Maybe wait it out. Play it out. Do it a little long term. Keep people guessing a little bit who he's going to go after. Let the stories develop, because Drew's got an upcoming thing now going with Sheamus. Roman, who knows? We'll see on SmackDown tomorrow night. What's going to happen with him? Is Daniel Bryan maybe going to jump in the mix and maybe challenge him a little bit? So they have other things going on. Finn Balor, of course, the stuff with Pete Dunne. So he doesn't have to come out and say right away. Keep it going, play it out, let it go. But yeah, man, I saw Tazzy's comment in the chat, and he thought the same. I love it. I think it's fantastic. Kudos to Edge. Kudos, like you said, to Goldberg, and kudos to, goodness gracious, is WWE listening? Are they listening to fans? What everybody criticizes them about, that they never listen, they don't want to hear it, they're going to do the stuff they're going to do, and nobody gives a damn about anybody, what they say. You know what? Maybe they're starting to listen. And regardless, these guys that they're bringing in are doing stuff for the young talent. And that's fantastic. I love to see it. And, you know, kudos to all the guys. It's great to see Edge back. We know Christian's going to be back as well. So, hey, what about a match like maybe Edge and Christian versus Jey Uso and Roman? Something, I mean, come on, right? Stuff like this kind of builds itself. Yeah. And so while they're there, just kind of mess around a little bit. Throw them against somebody like that. Throw them in the mix a little bit, maybe with Drew if you want. You know, we don't know how much we're going to see him actually wrestle. But, you know, yeah, I love this. I really absolutely love this.
Moda's fantasy booking. You see that?
Oh, Edge versus the Demon King. Oh, it absolutely would be. It absolutely would be. Absolutely. We have not seen the Demon King in forever. Yeah, that would absolutely be amazing. Who wouldn't want to see that? I mean, Balor is fantastic. And yeah, that would absolutely be amazing if he picked Finn Balor. And he could use the same storyline, Jeff, that Charlotte did. Come out and say, I've never won that title. So, you know, come out and just say that. I'm going to go after the NXT title because I've never had it. So, yeah, I love it. I think it's fantastic. I think it's great. And look, I again, kudos to them, and I absolutely love it. And I hope they continue it. I hope they continue it.
Yeah, I hope so, man. I hope so.
Moda, hello to you. I saw, you know, kind of glimpsed at you in the chat. Saw you join the chat. Big Dan says, I suspect Triple H is slowly taking control, hence the upturn. I'd love to see Edge and Christian versus the Usos. 2 out of 3 fall. Yeah, dude. Like, yeah, why not? I mean, Jimmy comes back. Who knows? People are asking things about Jay. Like, Jay's kind of been gone. People are kind of wondering where he is. Yeah, maybe they're just holding him back. Just holding him back. So yeah, man, I think it's great. I really do. I think it's great. And I'm one of the harshest critics that you'll see with WWE. I can be harsh. I plugged them before about stuff, but kudos where kudos are due. So
yeah.
All right, man.
And
what?
Eric Travis, you're right. Eric Travis says, "What about if Big E calls out Christian? Christian is old. Christian is old. An IC title match against Big E. Don't be surprised if that happens somewhere down the line. I'd love to see it at Mania. Those two.
Oh, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. Remember, guys, we're getting a 2-night WrestleMania again, so they've got some cards to fill. They've got a lot of matches that they can put out there. So this is going to be. There's going to be some good stuff, man. This is exciting because this is going to be some good stuff. And if I'm not mistaken, Jeff, this will be our first WrestleMania as well. A lot of firsts this year. We didn't do it. We didn't do a watch along. Yeah, man. Exciting stuff.
True.
Joey's Adventure says Roman Reigns claims SmackDown as his island. SmackDown was known as the Edge Show for years. Story writes itself. Yeah, look, the Edge is it's almost like it's a very big underdog story coming back from a bad injury. It's almost like a Rocky Balboa movie where, you know, he comes back from this bad injury and rises up to take on this big, and, you know, and Roman is the head of the table. So to rise up against this big opponent and take him on, yeah, it writes itself. And I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff, what do we got next?
I'm baffled at a comment that I just saw in the chat. That, oh man, I forgot to change my title on this. But anyway, this is about Bianca Belair. It's all good. It's been a long week at work, so
yeah, it's all good.
So yeah, fallout from Royal Rumble.
Royal Rumble was really good. It really was. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It was a fun show. And it's really funny because I've heard from a lot of people who claim to not be too happy with WWE who watched it and really liked it. Yeah. So I've had friends that I used to go and watch all the WWE pay-per-views with. A lot of them were like, I can't stand it, went away from it. We're watching AEW. Next thing I know, I'm getting comments. The Rumble was really good. I'm like, wait a minute, you weren't watching WWE anymore. What's going on?
Back to the party.
Right. Funny how that happens, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Rumble was amazing. It really was. And Bianca Belair, of course, was such a huge moment for her. So cool to see her win. Well deserved. We know what she did the year before. It was almost kind of like they went from the year before to this year and just continued the story. Again, and I mentioned this, they built her back up over the course of the summer. When it kind of looked like she was just with the Street Profits and stuff like that, they built her, they brought her back, and kudos to her for winning. Of course, we know about Edge. Some of the other things that came out, you could kind of see now that some of the story is building a little bit. The Alexa thing, everybody was kind of upset because Alexa got eliminated right away, but hold the phone because it didn't matter. Because at the end of Raw, she's spewing black blood out of her mouth in the corner of the ring with Randy Orton. And now it's got people wondering, like, I saw some stuff today, people saying, could this be a match at Fastlane? Could you have Randy Orton against Alexa Bliss at Fastlane, where you know that Bray is more than likely coming back at Mania? Now, that's probably the setup there. That would be his return. It'll be Randy against Bray at Mania. So does something like this, where it's not going to be an actual wrestling match. It'll be a crazy, advanced kind of a promo type thing or a cinematic, whatever it might be. But again, they set it up, and now look out, because it's going right back where we kind of thought it was. Everybody thought, oh no, Edge is done with it, or Randy's done with him. Randy's moving on. Well, not so fast. Not so fast. So, what were your big takeaway moments, Jeff? Obviously Bianca Belair winning was fantastic. I thought seeing, of course, Rhea Ripley in there, seeing some of the other NXT superstars in there was amazing. But what were some of your big takeaways from the Rumble?
For me, Drew retaining was a big moment. I went back and rewatched that match. That was a much better match than people are giving it credit for.
The Drew Goldberg match?
Drew Goldberg match. Mm-hmm. It was much better than a lot of people understand, because the psychology of the match was, okay, at the beginning there, Drew just kind of took Goldberg's head off before the bell started. Mm-hmm. And then Goldberg hurts him and takes him through the barricade. And even with Goldberg hitting, spear after spear, jackhammer, he still couldn't put Drew down.
Yep.
And then Drew comes back and he slays the legend. And it's like, okay, what they're doing here is they're propping up Drew even higher, mm-hmm, based off of this last year's run.
Yep.
So what does this mean? What does this mean going forward for Drew? Does he drop the title anytime soon? Who's to say? Mm-hmm. Like, is he the next guy? Because obviously, the reports were that there was a scary finish. Well, obviously it wasn't that match.
Yep.
So yeah, I just think that I think that was one of my bigger moments. And then obviously for me, the Women's Rumble as a whole stood out to me.
Yeah. It did. It was so fun. Fun to watch.
And it's not lost on me the irony of the final three. Well, the final four, think about this now. The final four was Natalya, Charlotte, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair. Mm-hmm. Why is that so significant? You have two pioneers of the
Yep.
women's revolution who have been there, done that. And what did they do? They put over two new, younger talents.
The old guard passed off to the new guard. And you know what? You're exactly right. And how much did we laugh about Charlotte being on every single show last summer? You remember we were talking about Charlotte being on every single show? But look, the thing is, when it comes down to it, this is another great example. And that's yeah, absolutely, Jeff. This is another fantastic example of like Jeff said, it's the old guard handing it off to the new guard. So yeah, absolutely, Jeff. Go ahead.
No, yeah, that's it.
Okay.
I mean, those moments for me were huge. Obviously, Edge winning. Bianca, I mean, I got misty-eyed on the watch along, so I don't have to say how much that one meant to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was just honestly what I felt like, aside from the men's rumble where Edge went over, it was all about putting over new talent or younger talent and creating secondary storylines. That's what the Rumble did, in my opinion. So, kudos to WWE for doing that, because I feel like, they did a great job at setting up some new things.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. And they followed it up with a good Raw. It really was. I mean, they followed it up with a good Raw. So yeah, I look again. Such a fun week all through. And, you go back to where this all started, and so many people were out there saying that the Rumble was really good, really good. I mean, except obviously for the haters, the haters are going to hate no matter what you do. You can put a plate of gold out in front of them. They're going to have a bad thing to say about it. So, but yeah, I mean, everybody else that I saw reviews on it were raving about it and thought it was awesome. So yeah, great stuff. And I think they're gonna, look, they're starting fresh, they're starting new. It's a new year, it's a new road to WrestleMania, and I think we're gonna get some amazing stuff for everybody that's out there. I mean, you people, you guys in the chat, you all love Bray. Wait until you see probably what's going to happen with that man. Is he even still going to be called the Fiend? We don't know. But if he comes out, look, how much are people going to mark out if he comes out with a brand new mask, a brand new theme song, a brand new look, Randy pissing his pants up in the ring because he's seeing something walking out that he'd never seen before. Alexa coming out, walking backwards, even though Joe will have a heart attack at some point. But dude, look, this WrestleMania has all of the chances to be one of the best ones. They got caught off guard last year. They planned a huge show, got caught off guard by a pandemic that no one expected, no one saw coming. They did the best that they could, and we got the Boneyard match out of that. One of the biggest you guys voted that your match of the year. So we got the Boneyard match out of that. Now we're going into this one where they're going to allow little clusters of fans there, more than likely, like they do in football games, in the stadium, in front of fans, 2 nights. It's going to be fantastic. It's absolutely going to be fantastic. And they're laying the groundwork. So James Chadwick says Bianca's winning was epic. Yes. Eric says exactly. Fiend for Mania makes sense. I think WWE realized to hurt the Fiend. They hurt the Fiend. Maybe that's why I'm happy Alexa didn't win, because she didn't. Because she doesn't need the women's belt. I love her, and we'll love that. But yes. Well, I think what you're trying to say there, Eric, is the fact that Alexa. Look, Alexa's been holding everybody's. Even though Fiend's gone, Alexa's been holding her own. Alexa's been carrying this story, and she's building up a huge thing for herself. People are saying how much she's killing it. Like, people are saying how much she retweeted something that Bully Ray said this morning about her on Busted Open, and said she is absolutely phenomenal. Like, just, doing things she has never done before, and he said, I'm hanging on her every word now. And boy, is that a compliment. When you get a compliment like that from a peer saying that am just, stunned by how good she's doing. So look, like I said, do we want Bray back? Of course.
Of course.
But enjoy it, because what she's doing is phenomenal. And I absolutely love it. But it's so good. And I think this WrestleMania has got a chance to be unbelievable WrestleMania. So while AEW and Impact and New Japan are doing their thing, we may get one of the biggest WrestleManias or best WrestleManias we've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's going to be good. High Fly is saying Natalya or Trish should win a future Rumble. I would like to see Natalya maybe win one before her time in the ring is done.
Yeah, I would agree. Natalya's she's been a workhorse. Absolutely been a workhorse. She's another one of those, like we talk about Cesaro and people like that. She's come in and she's, she just does what they need her to do. And again, she's put a lot of people over. She's been a part of a lot of crazy storylines. The thing with Lana and things like that are kind of like, you're like, eh. But look, I mean, there was a reason why she was the first woman to wrestle in Saudi Arabia. She's got history, her family, and she's always been great, and she's always there. So yeah, I would love to see that. To see that.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff, what have we got up next?
Got a little bit of a return on Tuesday night from ODB.
Oh, dude, you know what? When we saw that, and she cracks me up, man. I can't help but smile when I see her coming in and grabbing her chest all the time in front of everybody. I just crack up laughing when I see her. I think she's awesome. She does interviews, and I just love listening to her talk, because you can just tell how much she loves it. You can tell how much she loves the business and how much she loves to do this. And the fact that she came out, and now she's going to, of course, you're going to see a 3-on-3 match. You know you are. And it's definitely going to be her, Jordan Grace, and Jazz against Iana and Kimber and Susan. So, yeah, man, I absolutely love her. I think she brings a lot of fun and a lot of energy. Of course, whenever you see her come out, there's going to be stuff. And what was she? She's talking about her food truck and pulling pork. Yeah.
It was just the way she worded it.
I don't know. I don't know if people caught that, but yeah, that's ODB. But yeah, it's awesome.
Our chat caught it. That's for sure.
Yeah. We haven't seen her since what? NWA. We saw her in NWA last, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's the last. Yeah. Time, so.
Always good to see somebody return, and like I said, I think she's just a ball of fire, and every time you see her, shit's gonna get real. That's just how she is. So I think she's fantastic, and it's so fun to see her back. What do you think?
Oh man, I love it. With EY being there, and we know that her and EY were the last Knockouts tag team champions. For those that have been watching Impact for a little bit. But yeah, it's good to see her back. It's good to see her with these two that are in the picture.
Yeah.
Because that just tells you next week we're going to get the match.
Oh, yeah.
For No Surrender. It's going to be Jordan Grace, Jazz, and ODB against Deonna, Kimberly, and Susan. It's going to happen.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Great moment on Impact. And again, we go back to look, there's another show that we thought you guys were with us that watched it. You all thought it was a great show. We did too. We thought it was they had some stuff there too. And also we got a little teaser that DK is going to grow by one more individual. So now the rumors are flying about that. Yeah. Could it be Eric Redbeard? Could he be the big man? It's,
God.
I didn't even think I didn't even think about that. Like, I'm like, wow, that, and we know he's a free agent. He's out there. Nobody's signed him yet. Could it be him? Some people are still saying it could be Abyss. This is intriguing, and this is going to be something to see. So what's going to happen there was a great impact. It really was, and they've killed it the last 2 weeks, and it didn't even have AEW involved, which, again, kudos to them because they're telling their own story, like Jeff said as well. Jody's here. Hello, Jody. How are you tonight? Hope you are well. But yeah, man, they've done a fantastic job over the past 2 weeks, and I can't wait to see what we've got coming up with this go home show, and of course with the little mini pay-per-view next Saturday as well. Should be great. And
gotta give congratulations to Jody. We celebrate things as a family on here, so congratulations to Jody and Chris. They signed the contract on their home.
Hey.
So
awesome.
Congrats to you guys. And and if Eric Redbeard shows up, Lori says we might need to check on her.
I mean, look, you kind of just think that they need a big man, don't you? Like, they're going up against Triple XL, so you kind of just think they need that big guy. You got Crazy Steve, while he's great, he's a smaller guy, and then, of course, you got Rosemary, so you kind of think they're going to need that big man. So you're like, who can be that big man that they're going to get on the team? So I don't know, the thoughts crossed people's minds, and, people start thinking, like, who is it going to be? So, man, it's going to be fun, man. It really is going to be fun to see that. And I can't wait to see what they've got coming up. Is Abyss still working in WWE? Well, see, that's what nobody really knows.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what his contract is or how long he signed there for. He was in WWE, yes, as recently with AJ Styles. We saw him come out. So, yeah, he was there, but who knows? We don't know how long he signed. So if he wasn't signed for very long and he was just there as a producer, he could show up. Who knows? And how would people? Oh man, I'd mark out if I saw Abyss come out in his old costume with them. That would be amazing. Breaking news: Knockouts Championship had COVID and boyfriend fired for it, but they are all good. Says us on White. Who are you talking about, dude? I have not heard anything, but who are you talking about? Won't be Abyss. He's a producer. He worked on the Rumble. Okay. Well, like I said, I didn't know what his contract terms were or how long he was under contract. Okay. If he is, then he probably won't be, but we'll see. It's something cool to watch for. All right, Jeff, what's next?
Man.
Another Impact promo.
Trey Miguel. I don't know how many people that watch with us caught his promo and his interaction in that segment with Sami Callihan. Mm-hmm. But the stuff that he was saying about the folks that he had alongside him. Now, obviously, it's a work, but my goodness. If they do this the way I think they are, then they're about to strap the rocket ship to Trey Miguel this year too.
Yeah, I would think so. And I mean, look, we're not even really sure because we could even see like a little heel turn kind of from him because he came off a little snark as well. So you don't really know whether or not like what side he's going to take here or where he's going to go. But yeah, dude, you could see he's definitely coming out. And yes, like Jeff said, he could be one of the people that they throw right into a main event scene. He's got the talent. There's no doubt. And the fact that him and Sammy are kind of, they're kind of disagreeing, but you could just see Trey's got a different attitude, man. And why not? Why not, man? He's a young talent. We've seen him with the Rascals, and he's coming out and saying that he was kind of held back by them a little bit. So again, he's got that little bit of fire behind him, saying that, you ain't seen nothing yet, because when I was here before, I was held back. So it's exciting to say the least. And could they get him in the main event picture? Why not? Absolutely. Could you imagine, Jeff, if Moose gets that title off Rich Swann and Trey goes after Moose?
Look, here, you know what? I'm gonna put this out into the universe and hope and pray that it happens. Can you imagine a triple threat? Not Moose, sorry. That's down the line. Rich Swann, Chris Bay, Trey Miguel.
Oh, jeez. Oh, that would be nonstop. Just like nonstop action. You wouldn't know where to look at what parts of that match. Oh man, that would be absolutely awesome. Absolute awesome.
Did you see the announcement about the that revolver, the triple threat revolver?
Yes.
Dude, that sounds amazing.
It does.
That's gonna be on No Surrender. So, man,
make sure you guys join us for No Surrender.
Oh,
yes.
Chris wanted me to see what he had to eat. He said, I just ate an 8-piece bucket of fried chicken from KFC and large fries with gravy, and my fat ass ate the whole thing. P.S. I'm full. You better be full.
I would think it would be. Yes, I would think it would be. James Chadwick said would have to be an Ultimate X. Could you imagine if they brought an Ultimate X match back for that?
For that? And dude. Yes, Lori.
Yeah.
I want to see now. Here's the next triple threat that I want to see for the title. I want to see Moose. I want to see Josh Alexander, and throw me either Rich Swann or Trey Miguel.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. I mean, we just saw Josh take on a big man. So, they're kind of maybe planting the seeds a little bit there that, obviously Josh can handle, going up against these guys. They're considered the big men. I mean, Madman Fulton is a big dude, and he handled him, man. That pile driver that he put on him was fire. So absolutely, would absolutely love to see Josh involved in that as well. So awesome. Absolutely awesome. And Trey, man, I can't. And again, this is what's so cool. You're seeing them do this kind of stuff. It's not involving Kenny Omega. It's not involving Don Callis. It's not necessarily involving the Good Brothers. They're doing this without all that. And again, awesome. Impact has been great the last few weeks, and I can't wait to see what happens.
Yep.
All right. What have we got next? I think we have our.
It's time to get toasty. Yeah, it's time to get toasty.
Yeah, let's get a little warm by the fire, everyone, because we've got a ton of snow up here with us. So, what better way to warm up than in front of a fire? So, yes, our hot topic for the week. Yes. Has WWE turned the corner on building new stars and improving their shows with an emphasis on Raw? Jeff, go first. I'm going to let you go first because I'm really curious what you think. This is a good question. You guys out in the chat, let us know as well. I know we haven't been able to get to a lot of the chat tonight, and I apologize, but we had a lot to cover. But I'll make sure that I shout out some of your stuff as well. So let us know what you guys think. But go ahead, Jeff.
Short answer, yes. And reasons that I stated, with what they did with the Royal Rumble. That what they did with Damian Priest, his showing in the Rumble, really jump-started what he did the following night on Raw.
Yep.
And now you've got him in an angle in a program with The Miz and Morrison. And here's what I want to say real quick to people out there. Just because you don't know someone doesn't mean that they're not relevant and have huge star potential. So the folks that are hating on Bad Bunny being in WWE right now, look in the past. There have been plenty other entertainers that have been involved in storylines.
I mean, Shaquille O'Neal, Jeff. Shaquille O'Neal is in AEW right now, so getting ready to come back in a match. So, yeah, good point.
Yeah, so, I mean, again, just because you don't listen to Bad Bunny's music doesn't mean that he's not a relevant star. The dude is one of the most popular artists out there, had the most streams of music in 2020. So he's popular. He has just about as many followers and subscribers on YouTube as WWE does. That's just one person. So of course they want to attach to that. So yeah, I do think that I think we're seeing this with Damian Priest. I want to get more of a story with Ali and Kofi.
Yeah.
That's heating up. Give me some more of that. Hey, I think it's happening. Now, the other thing that's happening is they're really making this United States title relevant by the beating. Did you see the beating?
Oh,
that Bobby Lashley put Riddle. I mean, he got mollywopped Monday night. So
he did, yeah.
And I love it. It's like, okay, they're giving us layers right now on Raw. SmackDown has been great.
Right.
Okay. It's been great for a while. NXT is always great. It's a different show, but it's great. Raw had to step up. So, hey, I think they are. What about you, man?
Yeah, I like the start. I like how they went from, like you said, from, they carried over what the momentum that they got from the Rumble, and they went right into Raw. I mean, people were probably a little bit nervous about what they were going to get on Monday Night Raw because it hasn't been good. And then you think to yourselves, well, they better really follow up this Rumble with something good. And they did. Yes, they a lot of twists and turns there. I mean, Lashley, love him or hate him, the guy is a beast. And the way he made Matt Riddle look, just tossing him like a rag doll into over into the monitors. And what's going on there? You had MVP coming over and kind of trying to calm him down, trying to stop him, and couldn't. So is this a different turn now for Lashley? Is Lashley gonna be in the Elimination Chamber now? Maybe. Are we gonna see something like that? Is he gonna go back after the title? We got the Sheamus turn, which everyone probably knew was coming, right? Everyone knew it was coming, but again, you didn't know when. He came out like he was sticking up for his friend when Edge was in the ring, and then all of a sudden you got the bro kick. So now Sheamus is back in the picture, and now that's going to continue. So now where do you see that? Is that going to be a match at Elimination Chamber? Is it going to be Drew versus Sheamus? Probably. And like Jeff was saying, Ali and Kofi Kingston, dude, give me that match with both of those guys. Both amazing athletes in the ring. Absolutely love the fact that they're using Ali and this retribution thing. They're kind of finally bringing this around a little bit, and they're having Ali show you what he is. And him and Kofi would be absolutely amazing. So yes, I think, have they turned the corner? Yes, I think so. Because again, whoever, and you guys are all speculating in the chat. You guys are saying that, somebody, maybe Triple H is in charge. Maybe he's writing some of this, maybe, and we could speculate to the moon because we don't know. Nobody knows what's going on behind the scenes. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter as long as it's going to make me as a fan happy to watch that show and be invested in that show. And I think it's great. And it's great for wrestling. It's great for all of you guys because you're not going to say, oh, this Raw sucked. And going forward. So, and like Jeff said too, the new people, Damian Priest, where does Rhea Ripley show up? Is she going to be on SmackDown tomorrow night, or does she end up on Monday night? You knew they kind of had to bolster the women's division a little bit on Monday Night Raw. So where do some of them show up? Are we going to see more people from NXT end up on the Raw roster at some point? I think so. I really agree with you, and I think yes. I think they have turned a corner. I think we're going to see better Raws. And sure, are you going to get the one-offs here and there? Every show is going to have a down show. SmackDown does every now and then too, and you're going to get the clunkers every now and then. Everybody does. But yes, I do think that we are going to see more consistent Raws, and I think they're going to be better in the future, and they're going to ride that wave of momentum that they had from the Royal Rumble. So yeah, I agree. I think so. I think so. Let's see what some of you guys in the chat are saying. Sapphire says, I like Damian Priest and Retribution. Yeah, you're a big Retribution fan. I know you've said that before. Jason Stoffer says, yes, because Triple H is running Raw. Vince is still in Triple H's ear, so Vince steps away. Until Vince steps away, he might have some rough episodes of Raw and SmackDown until Triple H gets full control. Well, Jason, we don't know that. We don't know that for sure. It's certainly been rumored, but, we'll see. Triple H has a lot of busy stuff going on with NXT and everything like that, so we don't know that for sure. And, again, that's a speculation. But, hey, if that's what is going on, then awesome. Gamer Guy is not a fan of Bobby Lashley. Hey, you know what? That's okay. I don't think he's trying to make fans.
No.
That's what heels do, man. That's what heels do. So
I don't think in character, Bobby Lashley gives a rat's behind about how many fans he has right now or how much merch he sells.
I would agree.
He's just trying to kick Riddle's behind. So
I would agree. Gamer Guy, I don't know what you're talking about. Somebody being buried, and you spelled buried wrong. It's not one. It's not two R's. It's one. I don't think anyone's buried. You're burying everybody. He has a shovel and a plot of dirt for everybody out there. How cool is Alexa's new finisher? That
was amazing.
The twisted around backwards Sister Abigail.
That was
really cool. Really, it seems like it's more devastating too, doesn't it? Because you're twisting the person's head around in the opposite direction. Yeah, man. It's so hard for me to believe sometimes when you see her in a ring that she's only 5 feet tall. Like that, I'm shocked at that. I mean, you see her in there with Randy and stuff like that. She's short, but good Lord, yeah, it's hard for me to believe that she's 5 feet tall. But Alexis thing is, I told Jeff right after that happened with the Black Ooze, I said to him, you know what happens next in a horror movie, right? After that, you get the contorting and the person bends over backwards and I hate that, but. I might make an exception to my rule. If that's going on with Alexa, I might make an exception to my rule. Love that move, says Tazzy. Alexa's taller than me, says Sonny. Oh, okay. Sonny Wolf's small in stature too. Okay. DJ Kryptonok, Alexa's my current crush. You and one of my better friends that I used to work with too. He's gotten her autograph a few times. He's met her. But yes, I would imagine she's a lot of people's crushes at the moment. Jeff, what if Ray uses Alexa's version of Sister Abigail when he returns? Possible?
That would be amazing. And that would go to Jody's theory about the mirror theory.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I heard some of that on the Abby's Window show on Monday. Yeah. Cool stuff, man. Cool stuff. Lots of deep thought going on in Bray Wyatt's mind. So stay tuned. Chad Schrader says, could we see Karrion Kross and Scarlett on Raw or SmackDown sooner than later? Look, what does he really have to accomplish down in NXT is the question. If he's not going to go after Balor, then maybe. There were even rumors about mixed tags going on for WrestleMania as well. And even if it's not Randy and Bray, which I'm sure that probably is the direction now, but even if it's not him, dude, Bray and Alexa against Karrion Kross and Scarlett, we'd be killed. I'd be on the floor after the entrances. Just seeing the entrances would be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, they could just
would be amazing. Would be absolutely amazing.
It would be.
Oh man! All right, Jeff. What have we got next? I think we have our. I think we're at the favorite moment segment.
Yeah, it's time, man. It's our favorite moments of the week.
Here it is. The top 3 favorite moments of the week of Joe and Jeff on the Insiders Podcast. Yes, here we go. All right, Jeff. What is your number 3? And in the chat, tell us what some of your favorite moments from this week were as well. There are a lot of them that they could be, but let us know.
Oh, my God. My number 3 this week is going to be something that we already talked about, and that is ODB returning.
Nice.
I love me some Impact. I've been watching it for a long while. I get nostalgic when we get the Impact flashback moments on Twitch, and it just reminds me of a different era, and I love what they're doing right now, and her being back just makes me so happy. And for her to be teamed up, I think, with Jazz and Jordan Grace, I think is just going to be tremendous. So that's my number 3.
Yeah, and again, it makes that knockouts division even better. I mean, they're already stacked, but it makes it even better. So,
yeah.
Oh man, this was so hard for me to think about because there were just so many good things going on. I am gonna say, oh boy. Wow. I'm gonna go with, and this could have been anyone's number 1, Edge and Christian, and the moment they had at the Rumble. If you were a wrestling fan, and you can lie to me all you want, but don't tell me that you didn't get a little misty-eyed when Edge and Christian reunited in the ring, because it was one of those things that we get in WWE every now and then. It's just a moment, and it was a moment. To see those two guys embrace in the middle of the ring, to see, and if you go back and watch that match, you could see the smile on Edge's face when he heard Christian's music. Fantastic, really fantastic, really well done. Christian then was announced that he was cleared to wrestle. So we're going to be seeing Christian, and I think it's awesome. And I thought it was just a fantastic moment. One of those things that you get every now and then in professional wrestling, and it's just a moment. It may be for a couple seconds, but I absolutely loved it. And as I've watched those two for a long, long time, and to see them back in a ring together was tremendous. And maybe it won't be the last time we do. So awesome. Yeah. And that could have been, like I said, any of these moments really could have been a number 1, because that absolutely could have been a number 1 moment. So I absolutely love that. All right, Jeff, what was your number 2?
Man, my number 2 this week, again, like you said, could be anybody's number 1. But my number 2, KENTA showing up in AEW.
Yep.
I mean, not because I called it, but that moment, that changes professional wrestling. I mean, we already had that moment with Kenny showing up on Impact.
Yep.
But to have that on AEW with New Japan at this point, I mean, oh my God, it's the possibilities at this point are endless.
Yes.
Because think if they do triple threat matches across the board.
Yep.
You have a representative from Impact, AEW, New Japan.
Yep.
I mean, give me a Sami Callihan, Moxley, KENTA match.
Oh, jeez.
You see what I'm saying? Give me Ace Austin, MJF, and Jay White. That's the kind of fantasy booking that we can begin to do. You see what I'm saying? So
yep.
It's just, man, that, oh my God, it's just so good. But I'm really, really glad to see that AEW and New Japan are starting to create a working relationship. I want to see how far it goes past this. Do we get other people involved? I think we do. I think we're going to get some of the real Bullet Club showing up.
Very well could be. Very well could be. They weren't happy with that whole thing. There was a lot of talking going back and forth. So, yeah, very well could be. Yeah, that was an amazing, absolutely amazing moment. So, and again, a lot of these could be reversed. Anybody's could have had this as their number 1. So, yeah, absolutely, man. My number 2, and again, I always look at these as being not only favorites, but they're kind of mark out moments. And for me, my number 2 was Alexa perched up in that corner at the end of Raw and that black stuff just coming out of her mouth. Nothing was said. There was no voice. There was nothing. But she just sat up. And how creepy. Could you imagine? Imagine yourself being in that ring as Randy Orton. And you're just about to finish off Edge. You have one of your greatest rivals ever in the corner, just about to RKO him, finish him off. And then all of a sudden you look behind you and there she is perched up on the top turnbuckle, just sitting there. And all of a sudden she looks down and this black stuff just starts to come out of her mouth. Like this is straight out of a horror film. And Randy Orton's living it. It's like Randy Orton's all of a sudden become the main character in The Grudge. And he's like living this now. Like he's looking like, could you imagine if that were you? I again, it was a mark out moment for me because I didn't expect it. I knew something was coming. And I thought that this was going to be Bray Wyatt's return. I thought that he was going to come back. I really did. I thought that, okay, you didn't do it on Sunday, but if there's any time to come out, he's going to come out and he's going to save Edge from a beating. And I thought for sure, because a lot of people are saying he's going to turn face, he's going to kind of be, so I thought for sure, all right, something's going to happen. And then it's going. And I'm watching the clock and it's like 58. And I'm like, there's 2 freaking minutes left. What's going to go on here? And they're still going. They're still rolling around. And then all of a sudden, the clock hits 59. And I'm like, there's nothing happening. And then all of a sudden, I see Randy setting up. I'm like, is he really going to RKO him? And that's how this is going to end? And then boom. And I did not see it coming. Didn't expect it. I did not expect that to happen. And then her do what she did. Definitely did not expect that to happen. So, Supernatural. Yes, dude, give me more. Give me more. Just bring it. Oh God,
I love, man. That it was so funny because when I immediately when I saw that, I thought Joe's about to have a fit because this is the first step in 5.
It's almost like my worst. See, I could be rejoicing for this, but this is almost like my worst nightmare coming true here because, like, where do they go from here now? And then I said that to Jeff about the contorting stuff, and yeah, this could be like my worst nightmare ever. Because if with her being as tiny as she is, and the frame that she has, honest to God, dude, I think I might throw up if she ever came out walking backwards to the ring. I don't even know. I don't even know.
You know that she can do it.
Oh, I absolutely know she can do it, which is what scares me even more. Yeah. Man. All right, Jeff, what is your number 1?
All right, man. Number 1 for me, I don't think that anyone will be surprised with my number 1. Got to be Bianca Belair winning the Rumble. The year that she's had, you think starting back to last year's Rumble, when it was a shock that she entered the Rumble, and she was in there for as long as she was, and then she gets the push up to the main roster and goes to Raw. And, it started out great. And then all of a sudden she was nowhere to be found. And people were getting pissed, like, where the heck is Bianca Belair? And then she goes to SmackDown. And now we're starting to see these matches that we were like, man, what if she went up against Bayley? What if she went up against this person? And now there's a possibility that she's going to take on Sasha Banks at WrestleMania. And I mean, give me that, please.
Yep.
And we're going to talk about that a little bit later, as a matter of fact.
Yes.
But, hey, that's my number 1. Bianca absolutely deserves the spotlight. And I'm going to say with Rhea Ripley being one of the last people with her in that ring, she's about to get, the same treatment, and she deserves it because, my goodness, Rhea Ripley is amazing. Rhea Ripley is amazing. So
She is.
So yeah, definitely. And, and I'm not even, aside from her talent, just what it meant from a historical standpoint.
Yeah.
Was a huge accomplishment. Only the second person, the second African American, aside from The Rock, to win a Rumble. So
Crazy, man. Yeah, without a doubt. And you know what? I'll be the first to admit I could not choose. This is gonna be a 3-way tie for me because there's no way I could have chosen. So Edge winning the Rumble, Bianca winning the Rumble, and the Kenta showing up last night at AEW. They were all amazing moments. I couldn't pick one. Bianca, with everything you said, Jeff, she deserved it. To the point of where a lot of people picked her to win it, but you kind of always had that little feeling in the back of your head, please don't screw this up. Please don't screw it up. So she deserved it. She paid her dues. She came in. She was with the Street Profits for a while. She went through that whole thing. She went through some feuds. She beat Bayley. And I think after the whole thing with Bayley, she rose to the top. And there was just no place she can go but up. And now, like you said, oh my goodness, man, Sasha versus Bianca Belair honest to God, this should be one of the main events. This should be one of the main events. I mean, this should main event one of those nights. It could be a night 1 or a night 2 main event. Yeah. No question. No question. Edge, with everything he's done, to come back from the injury he's had, you guys all know the story. But everything that he's done to come back from what he did and then to get injured again and then to have to fight his way back again and to come back from what he's done and then last from number 1 to the end of the Rumble and win it, you couldn't write a better story. And, the haters are going to say, well, yeah, Vince and his legends, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I'm sorry. This is a different situation. This isn't Goldberg. This isn't John Cena just coming in off the street. This is a guy who busted his ass for however long to fight his way back just because he loved something so much to do it. He could have just walked away. He's an actor. He's been in stuff. He's been in movies. He's been in TV shows. He could have taken the paychecks from that and walked away, but he didn't want to leave that way. And that's amazing to me. And it's an amazing story. Whether he wins the title or not, it doesn't matter because of what he's accomplished since he's been back. So that's amazing. And the Kenta thing, again, completely unexpected. I had no idea that was going to happen. I kind of figured there might be something going on with the Omega stuff last night. Didn't know what it was going to be, honestly. And we had talked about this prior. Are we going to see some people from New Japan? Did not expect it yesterday. And again, kudos to AEW for pulling that off when the people weren't really necessarily expecting it. You might have expected it when the whole Impact thing was going on more. But then they kind of let it wean a little bit and let people forget about it a little bit. And then all of a sudden they pulled the trigger and shocked everybody. And again, they pulled this off when Sting came out too. So they've been having these little moments when these guys are coming out and nobody's expecting it. Sting, everybody was saying he's going to show up at a pay-per-view. Well, he didn't. So kudos to them for that. I couldn't pick one because they were all absolutely amazing moments. So yes, awesome. Why is everybody talking so much about Kenta? He was in NXT and didn't do anything but get hurt. I don't get it. Chris, I don't know. Chris,
like I said in the chat, to respond to that, in my opinion, and shout out to Clay Sculptures. Thank you for joining us, and Jesse.
Jesse's here.
In my opinion, it's just about the possibilities of the two companies working together. Yeah. I think there had to be a first in the line to give it a test run. He's a hot name right now. Yeah. So why not? Yeah. Why not test him out, especially with the story with him and Mox for the U.S. title. So, so yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. Yeah, he was hurt all the time, but again, a lot of it is about the right environment for people, and sometimes an environment just doesn't work out. It causes things to happen. So, New Japan is definitely the right environment for him. He skyrocketed. Being there and benefited from being there. And I think that this is just the beginning of the relationship, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, it's just like Eric Young now excelling so much in Impact. I mean, he didn't fit in WWE. They never, whether it was writing, they didn't use him properly, or he just couldn't be creative. But now he's back in Impact and he's absolutely killing it. So sometimes it's just about the fact that they're just not the right fit, and maybe they go somewhere else and they can really blossom and show what their character could be someplace else. And that's okay. Again, you have these other places that these guys can go. They're not stuck with just one place. You have AEW, you have Impact, you have Ring of Honor, you have MLW, you have other places where these people can go, and they know that. And it's really cool. Really cool. Yeah. All right, man. What do we got next, Jeff?
All right, man. So it's been a while since we've done this, but I think it's time to give the people what they want. So
yes.
So we're gonna go a little sell or no sell.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've done this segment.
Been a while.
Used to love this. To love this segment and still do. Always fun to get into a little bit of sell or no sell. So we hope you enjoy it. All right. What is the first topic tonight, Jeff?
All right. Chris is mad that we're not yelling at you, Chris. Jeez, man.
Don't be so emotional. Don't take things to heart so much. We're not yelling at anyone.
And you know what? The next time you cook a gourmet meal, it would be nice if you think of me.
Yeah.
Just think of me as you're eating it, like, ha ha ha, I'm eating this and Jeff isn't. But actually, like, you know what? Let me help Jeff out. Let me take the man a nice meal so he's not eating cardboard every night. So
they're ramen noodles. Yeah. Yeah, man.
All right. First topic, Impact Wrestling, and apparently I misspelled wrestling. That's how long.
That's okay. Jeff's been working hard at his job, so we'll forgive you.
Oh God. Don't get me started. Impact Wrestling has been better the last 2 weeks after not forcing the AEW crossover sell or no sell.
It's really hard to fight this. Sell, yes, it has been better. I know you guys in the chat.
Hold on. Because apparently Sapphire doesn't know what this segment is. Oh. And I know our OG listeners will love and appreciate this, but I love
it. The original sound effects. Yes. Sapphire, this is just kind of a little debate segment that Jeff and I do from time to time. We used to do it all the time, and we kind of got away from it, but it's fun. We'll pick a topic, we'll kind of debate it back and forth and decide whether we will sell it, which means we agree, or we will no sell it, which means no, we disagree. And we get into these little fun things every now and then. Maybe we'll play the heel, maybe we'll play the face. So it's a fun little segment. But yeah, man, sell and sell and sell all the way. And you guys in the chat will tell us that too, because you've been watching. And yes, the last 2 weeks were very, very good. They didn't need Kenny Omega there. They didn't need Don Callis there. They really didn't even have the Good Brothers around. They were kind of doing, a little promo and stuff like that. So no, they didn't need any of the stuff from AEW. Yeah, they had the couple things going on with the, the little vignettes and the stuff with Tony Khan and everything like that. Yeah, but I'm not counting that stuff, the stuff with Matt Hardy. Those are just little promos. No, the shows were great. You guys even graded them great in the chat. We saw you. Jeff and I did the same thing. So yes, sell it. They're allowed to, it almost was like I don't know. It almost was like maybe they were under just too much pressure, maybe, with that whole thing going on and thinking that, oh my God, all eyes are on us. We better just do, and maybe they kind of got a little bit away from what they do best. So, yeah, sell it all day, all day. Go ahead, Jeff.
Man,
I love it.
This is like, out of every time we've done this, this is like the biggest sell. This is the easiest sell.
It is.
One of the easiest. I mean, it just goes to show that when you focus on what's in your locker room, it makes a ton of difference. And, that's no disrespect or shade to them doing the crossover with AEW, but I think they just tried to press it too much, a little too much. And, that it showed. I mean, because everything was Kenny and the Good Brothers. And, listen, I want to see the stuff happen at a pay-per-view. I want to see all three companies work together. But for right now, on a week-to-week basis, it's okay if we get little glimpses here and there, but don't base your whole show around it. Yep. So, definitely sell for me because, man, this is, it's been great the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, no, I agree. And again, I think you guys all agree too. Those of you who come out and watch Impact with us every Tuesday have all pretty much said the same thing after both of the last couple of shows. And your grades on the shows before weren't so good. So they were lower than we've seen. They weren't horrible, but I mean they were like 7s. And so yep. I think you agree with us as well. Okay. What is our next topic?
All right, man. Next topic. KENTA showing up on AEW is a one-off appearance. Sell or no sell?
Well, we already kind of got a glimpse into next week, so I'm going to no sell. Yeah, no, this isn't a one-off. They're gonna build this up. Whether, like Jeff said earlier, whether this is just going to be a thing where it's just going to be him and Moxley, which is fine. If that's the way they're going to do it, and it's just going to be a thing where he's coming up to take on John Moxley, look, that's okay. Is this going to be leading in? There's so much speculation. Is it going to lead into the TV deal that New Japan's going to have? Is it going to lead? We don't know how far this is going to get. The fact that the thing that got me was when I went back and watched it and I heard Don Callis laughing hysterically when he showed up, tells me that he is the guy behind a lot of this, and there is something going on with him and how he's bringing this together. And if he's, cackling in the back like an evil wizard, there's something going on there. And so to me, no, this is definitely not the last of this. And where it's going to build up to is what's going to be really fun to watch. So I definitely don't think so. Somebody made a comment too about the thing with Callis and Omega, them making that hideous poster into T-shirts. Oh, they did. Oh my God, they did. The fact that Don Callis is kind of reaching down and pulling down his pants a little bit on that picture, I'm like, oh dear God, no. It's just something you just didn't need to have made into a shirt. But I'm sure there'll be people that'll be wearing it. But yeah, I saw the comment out there. I just had a comment on that. But all right, Jeff, go ahead, man. Sell or no sell?
Oh man, this is easy. No sell. It's leading to something bigger. I truly believe that. And by the way, AEW will make a shirt out of anything.
They did. They do.
Anything.
They do.
But yeah, I think this is leading to something bigger. We're starting to see that because we've already got a match booked for next week.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree.
No,
I agree. Jesse saying, anybody new here, make sure. Yeah, if you're new, please hit that subscribe button. Really appreciate that. I think we're only like maybe 5 people away from 1,300. So yeah, hit that like and subscribe, of course, for us tonight. We'd really appreciate that. Okay, what is our last sell or no sell tonight?
I mean, we already talked about it, and I think we already know what both of us will say here, but Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair should be the main event of WrestleMania 37. So no sell.
Sell it. Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt. And I already mentioned it earlier. Whether it's night 1 or night 2, it doesn't matter, but it should be one of the main events for sure. And I know, people, the detractors to this are going to say, well, you've got Drew and you've got Roman, and, Roman. And if it's Roman and Edge, yes, that's going to be a co-main event, probably for sure. I think if anyone gets pushed to the side a little bit here, it may be Drew, because if it's Drew and Sheamus or whatever the case might be, but no, this is without a doubt a main event. Without a doubt a main event. I mean, this has the makings to be right up there when you saw the matches with Becky and Sasha. You saw the matches with Becky and Charlotte. Yeah, this could go down in history as one of the best women's matches that we have seen at a WrestleMania. And that's saying something. Two amazing athletes, two amazing women that are just at the top of their games right now. And this, yes, absolutely, it should be a main event at WrestleMania for sure. Go ahead, Jeff.
Hey, same thing.
I love
it. For all those reasons. I get it that we've got, there's possibilities. You've got Drew, you've got Roman, and the possibilities are there with either of them. But if you think about it, this match could be, and I don't think this is hyperbole, but I think this could be one of the biggest women's matches of all time.
Yeah.
And I think because Bianca's the future. And let's be honest, and I think we talked about this several months ago, but at some point, Hollywood is going to come calling Sasha Banks.
That is true.
Let's just be honest. She's a star. We talked about this with Conman.
Yeah.
So Hollywood's going to come calling. You got to have a star that can carry it. And to me, my opinion, I think Bianca is one of the most authentic performers that we have in wrestling today.
Yeah, I agree.
So, I mean, this matchup, oh my God, this could be so amazing for so many reasons. And I mean, this could be one of the biggest. This could be one of the biggest matches of all time, and it deserves a spotlight. Whether you give that, if you want to give it the main event on night 1, no problem with it. If you want to close out night 2, no problem with it. But for me, this should definitely be a main event match. Definitely be a main event match.
I agree. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Bianca and Sasha could be on a level with Trish and Lita. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you look at any of the women's matches over the years that have been at WrestleManias. This one could top them. And yeah, that's saying something. It really is saying something. And is this Bianca's moment? Is this going to be her WrestleMania moment when she hoists up that title? So yeah, absolutely. It definitely deserves to be spotlighted. And I have no doubt. I mean, yeah, look, Jeff brought up a great point. If Sasha's going to go back and do some more work on The Mandalorian, she very well could. They could have her character back there again. She needs to go back and do some work on that. I mean, that's coming next year. Not December, I think next January of 2022. So she would have to go and do some filming. So very possible. Yeah, very possible that it might be her time to kind of get away a little bit. And if that's the case, it would make a lot of sense to put that title on Bianca for sure. But yeah, I think you guys all agree. And I've seen that in the chat. So Absolutely, man. All right. Well, there you go. We have hit on a lot of topics tonight. It was a full week of wrestling, and it was hard to narrow it down to just, I mean, so many things happened over the course of this week and a little bit last week, of course, as well. But we got through it. We got through as much of it as we could. And thank you guys for being out there in the chat. It is Jesse Calynn time. It is time for our favorite segment of the night. Go home with a laugh. It is time for Calynn Corner. So, Jesse, you're up. I know Jesse just joined the chat not that long ago. So here we go. It is time for Jesse to send us home with a smile on our face. And if you joined late, obviously, like I said, we don't have anything for the rest of this week. We are done. We're taking a couple days off here because next week's going to be crazy. We will be back on Monday, same time, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Abby's window. That will be Abby, of course, Jody, and Jeff. We'll be talking about the Alexa stuff in more detail and what and when do they think Bray Wyatt will eventually make his return. Tuesday, Impact Wrestling watch along with Jeff, myself, and Tazzy, and that will be a go-home show for the mini pay-per-view on Saturday, so that will be fun. Thursday, our podcast, of course, our wrestling podcast. We'll be right back here talking about what happened the rest of this week. So what happened on SmackDown, what happened on Raw, and what happened on Impact, and of course AEW with that big Omega and Kenta match versus Moxley and Lance Archer. So we'll be right back here next Thursday, same time we were tonight, and then of course Saturday, we have Impact and Impact Plus. Make sure you get that Impact Plus app. We have that coming up on Saturday. And then Sunday, we have NXT with Tazzy. We will be guest starring basically with Tazzy to do the watch along for NXT. So lots of stuff coming up, and it is a packed week. So yeah, we'll be good to get a couple days breath and to come back full force next week for you guys. So lots of wrestling happening next week as well. So next week has potential to be a great week as well for wrestling fans. All right, Jesse, you're up. Don't forget Tazzy's next NXT party, Super Bowl Sunday. Yes. Make sure you guys are joining Tazzy for all his NXT content and his before and after parties. Make sure you check Tazzy's schedule as well. And make sure to give him a watch and a follow if you haven't done so already. Tazzy's doing some great stuff over there with NXT. So make sure you do that. And of course, Jeff and I were talking, we're kind of in discussions as far as maybe doing another show. We're kind of mulling it over, deciding what we want to do. We talked about it in the chat with you guys in Impact Wrestling. We might maybe do some older Impact shows, do some watch-alongs or something like that. Our show may be Impact-centric. We might do, a show about Impact Wrestling. And maybe during that show, we might have some of the older Impact watch-alongs. So keep your eyes out. We'll be deciding on what's going on with that. Probably after another week or so, we might have more news about that. So Jesse says, I'm so not ready.
We'll keep talking there. We'll keep talking.
The fact that you used the word filibuster was impressive.
Yes.
Impressive. Yes. So I'm checking out, said Brian Coleman. Good night, Brian. Thank you for joining. Really appreciate that. Yeah. So what else is going on? We have, of course, tomorrow night is SmackDown. So that will be the first SmackDown after the Rumble. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with Roman Reigns. And is the thing with Kevin Owens done now? Where are they going to go with that? Are there going to be some other people that are going to end up on SmackDown? We shall see. We shall see. And our buddy Rohit, Jeff, had an amazing match, didn't he?
Hey, man. He did, and he earned himself a title opportunity.
He certainly did.
And we might be seeing the Desi Hit Squad make a comeback. So
He's got some muscle behind him now. Always dangerous when a heel has muscle behind him. As you know, with AJ Styles and Omos, and in the past it was, you had Shawn Michaels and Diesel. So always, when they got that big man out there, it's a whole different story because that's like fighting off two people at once for the opponent. So TJP better be careful, or that belt's going to go right back around Rohit's waist where he wanted it. He talked about that in our interview, which, by the way, make sure you go listen to if you have not done so already. I can't wait for Edge on SmackDown, says Texas-based Raslin fan. Yeah, he's making the rounds,
yes,
which he should. Let's see what the chat's saying. Sorry we couldn't get to a lot of the chat tonight. We had so much to cover.
So much stuff.
Yeah, it was just really, really hard to keep an eye on the chat. Joe, Eye on Impact, perfect name. Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. I like it. Sapphire says, question, how do I make people mods? You don't.
She's talking about on her account.
The plane it's on your account. Oh, okay, on your YouTube. You have to go into your YouTube channel in the chat, and you have to kind of click on their name. I think it's a right click that you have to do on their name, and that's how you make people mods.
Otherwise, you have to go in and add their emails on the back end under settings.
Oh, okay. There you go. Little T had to head out. Good night to you, Little T. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming. Other mother says, I'm washing my hair. Crossing my fingers and hoping. Oh, do we got one?
Yeah.
Are we ready to go? Yep, here we go. Here is Jesse. NASCAR drivers never have mental breakdowns. They just go steer crazy. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Steer crazy. NASCAR's coming up. I know a lot of people are excited about that. NASCAR fans is going to be starting up pretty soon as well. So yeah, there you go. Little one having the stuff having this time of it's that time of the year. I mean, Super Bowl, of course, is Sunday. Jeff will have an eye on that, I'm sure. So Super Bowl Sunday is this Sunday, and then after that, then everything kind of starts up. Of course, NBA is already rolling along. The NHL is rolling along. And you'll have baseball pitcher and catchers reporting pretty soon. So everything's getting into gear. NASCAR. You'll have March Madness is back too. College basketball this year as well. So good stuff. Lots of stuff going on in the sporting world. Chris, thank you for the donation, man. Really appreciate that, buddy. We love you. We may yell at you sometimes, but you know where we are, man. You know where we are.
Oh
yeah. Oh man, I think poor Jesse might have a headache too. So sorry, Jesse, to put you on the spot when you're not feeling so well. It might be because I'm English, but I really don't get the fascination in NASCAR. James, I guess you can maybe kind of compare it to your fascination with watching darts. I mean, we just don't get that either. I like playing darts, but I could never really watch darts on TV. So yeah, it's an acquired taste. I've never been a huge NASCAR fan, but I was never really a big racing fan. It's the Indy 500 and that kind of racing is a little bit different than the NASCAR stuff. But I've liked drivers. Dale Earnhardt was an amazing NASCAR driver, and of course passed away much too soon. But it's very, very big in the South United States. And it kind of has spread around the country now more. So it's gotten hugely, hugely popular over like the last maybe 15, 20 years or so. So yeah, no, I hear you. I've never been a huge racing fan either, but there are a lot of people out there that really love it, man. Really love it. Does Jesse have anything else for us? Jesse, I'm not going to force you because I know you're not feeling good. I dropped so many I ran out. Okay, that's perfectly cool. No problem, Jesse. Appreciate you giving us the one. That's awesome. All right, guys. I think we are done. Lots of stuff to take in tonight. And the one thing you can go away from the stream thinking of, guys, is just enjoy it. Just take it in, whatever it is that you like, whether it's AEW, WWE, whatever the case might be, Impact, any of the others, just enjoy it. Just take it in and just enjoy it, because this was just a week, like Jeff and I said at the start, for wrestling fans. It was an amazing wrestling week, and we can only hope we get them like this all the time. So, all right, from Jeff and myself, Jeff, any last comments before we leave?
Next week is going to be a crazy week.
It is.
For many reasons.
Yep.
Just enjoy the ride, because Tazzy and I actually talked about this. The month of January for professional wrestling was insane, and February is starting the same way. So just enjoy.
Yep.
Just enjoy. Sapphire wants you to try and join her stream on Saturday.
Sapphire's doing a stream on Saturday. I'd love to. I'm honored that you asked. Unfortunately, I am working. So I work at retail, and it is very difficult for me to do anything when I'm there. I have a half-hour break during the day, and that's it. But enjoy your stream. Go for it. We tell everybody to do that. If that is your passion and you want to do this kind of stuff, go for it. Jesse does her videos. We have other people. Dave in real life, I know, does stuff. He's doing stuff. Of course, Tazzy's doing stuff. Go for it. If that's what you like to do, go for it. And you know what? Regardless of who comes to watch, just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. That's all I would ever say to anybody that wanted to do anything like that. Just enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Stay consistent.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. All right. So from Jeff and myself, guys, we are going to get out of here. I hope, as we always say, stay safe out there. Have a great rest of your night and a great rest of your wrestling week. Enjoy the wrestling tomorrow. Enjoy SmackDown. And hopefully we will see you all again on our next show, which will be Abby's Window on Monday. Guys, have a great weekend. Enjoy it. Take care. And we will talk to you soon. See you later, guys.